What's up, YouTube? I got Kane here, undefeated with Altergeist. Pretty nice, pretty nice. Anything to say?
No, just waiting to get going, dude.
Just beating these scrubs up?
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing Altergeist for years. I mean, right when they came out, and I don't know, I think it was called Circuit Break. I can't remember, it's been so long ago.
Yeah.
They came out, I read a query, and I was like, wow, this hand trap seems pretty good because it's technically a hand trap.
Yeah.
So I've been playing them since day one, and it's just easily the best deck, I think. The best deck the deck I'm the best with.
Yeah.
And so a couple of guys here called me a mini DZ, but I don't know about that, man. That guy's he's definitely the Altergeist king. I'd like to if he ever comes across this video, I would like to play him one time in a mirror match, but I'm just some guy in Billings.
Some scrub. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's get right into it.
All right. So pretty standard. 3 Ash Blossom. I mean, the card's been out long enough. I mean, this card doesn't really need any other introduction, but it's Ash Blossom. Pretty standard Altergeist lineup here. Got the 3 Marionetter. She can set you any trap. Most of the time you go for Protocol, Manifestation. You don't play the other ones, they're bad. And then Meloseek, 3 Meloseek. This card is super good. It kind of sucks that it targets at the time. Meloseek is just your main piece of removal. Attack directly, send anything. And the fact that it sends and doesn't destroy is super good for any decks that float with destruction. If you run into a Dragoon or the Bird Up Link, I can't remember the name.
Samorg.
The Samorg. Meloseek's pretty much a dead card. It's pretty rough, and it's tough to get around those cards now, but Meloseek's still a super good card, and it's also a searcher when it gets sent to grave, so super good.
Nice.
Of course, the best card, Multi-Faker. I was pretty bummed when this card went to 1. I quit playing it for a while because I just thought it was dead and I didn't want to play it. The 1 Multi-Faker at the time wasn't too bad, but when it came back to 3, I decided to pick up the deck, and I've had a lot of fun with it. So
nice. Best card in the deck.
Best card in the deck. Second best card in the deck, Silk. I mean, Compulse on legs, quick effect. I mean, she's so good. You definitely don't want to play her at 3. I mean, the Altergeist monster lineup rarely changes. I think I saw one guy who tried to be spicy with it by playing a second Kunk. I would not recommend that.
Yeah.
You go 3 Multi-Faker, 3 Meloseek, 3 Marionetter, 2 Silk, and then the 1 Kunk. This guy, I wish he's super good, but not good enough to run at more than 1. I mean, if you have 2 spoofings up and you haven't used the Silk effect, they declare an attack, negate the attack. They're like, okay, attack again. It's like spoofing, shuffle in to add. They're like, okay, attack. It's like negate the attack. Again. Use the second spoofing, negate. It's not once per turn. Silk, return, negate. I had 100 life points in 1 matchup, and I seriously used the same Kunk in my hand 3 to 4 times, and he couldn't believe it was not once per turn. Actually, shout out to Gavin Myers. I hope he remembers that game. That was a long time ago, but I had 100 life points. I ended up winning.
Good old Gavin.
Because of this 1 card.
That's awesome.
On to the spells. You don't play. Mine's a little heavier than usual right now, but you play the 3 Extravagance. Who cares about your extra deck in this? Honestly, you need card advantage, especially with cards like Harpy's Feather Duster being at 1, Lightning Storm. They're just, if you don't have the card advantage in this deck, you're just not going to do well. So Extravagance helps with that quite a bit. I decided to tech this back in, and it's helped out quite a bit. I'm running the 3 Secret Village. This card has been unbelievable lately. I mean, the Drytron matchup, I played the Grand Maju matchup, and it was pretty good. What was another matchup I played? I can't remember the other matchup I played, but Secret Village has come in super clutch lately. I'm super glad I teched it back in. Oh, it was the Despia matchup. It was Shadal Despia, and I know they the Shadals are spellcasters, but he just couldn't get a spellcaster to the field, so he couldn't activate any of his fusions. He couldn't activate his field spell. Came in super clutch.
That's spicy. Just more Imperial Orders in your deck.
Oh yeah. And then 1 Called By. I mean, why not? It's good. I figured it had an extra spot. I mean, I could put another trap in, but this card's busted. Onto the traps. We got the 3 Solemn Strikes.
Ulties, let's go.
Pretty standard. I mean, special summons, monster effects. I think the one thing, you gotta have those micro plays with Altergeist, and I feel like you gotta use your strikes very, very well. And a lot of people just if they activate an effect to add, they'll strike it right away. I like to let my opponent kind of go deeper into their combo play. Most of the time when they use a lot of material to go into a Link 3, if they have some floats in grave, you can strike the summon. I just feel like that's the thing. I feel like a lot of people don't play Altergeist too well, is because using the strikes and the return off Silk is very important to do. 3 Solemn Judgments. This card, I definitely wait to use as much as I can for like for a Lightning Storm or for a Harpy's Feather Duster or a Red Reboot. Yeah, Evenly's. Thank you. I forgot about Evenly's. Evenly's just wreck you. So the 3 Judgments are very important. I try not to use them too all willy-nilly. I usually wait to use them on a card that's really important. If I'm playing like Prank Kids or something like that and they're short on material in hand, they normal summon, I'll probably Solemn Judgment that. Or you can wait to do the Meow Meow Moo. Now that their Meow Meow Moo's at 1, I'd probably wait for the Meow Meow Moo because then they would not get that. But it's very situational, but very, very good card. Also, very standard in the deck, the 3 Imperms.
Imperm Faker.
Imperm Faker, I mean, that combo is just freaking nutty. I mean, it's so good. Unfortunately, I don't have ultis of these yet, but those will be coming here soon. Pretty standard, everyone knows what Imperm does.
Yep.
Especially now that all the scrubs got supers.
Right.
3 Spoofing. Literally a Stratos in a trap card. Quick play both turns. Card super, super good. I wish it was an Altergeist card. Marionetter could set it. If it could do that, I think this card would have been hit a long time ago. But this is the card you use to rotate the Kunk and the multi-faker in. You can search whatever you need. You need removal, you need the bounce, you need to set something. Card's super good. On to the other better card in here is the Altergeist Protocol. I mean, this card puts in work. I mean, what's a Droplet? What's an Imperm? What's a Boral Savage? What's an Appaloosa? I mean, this card just says no to everything. Card's so good. There's been so many times where, and a lot of people don't discard a trap off the Droplet. So if I have multi-faker effect on field and they try to Droplet it, they usually discard a spell or a monster. You chain Protocol.
Exactly.
The effect goes through. I mean, a lot of people don't play a whole lot of traps. I mean, and then it's also, so your stuff can't get negated and you can destroy a monster with it. So when you combine this, if you combine this with the strike, and if you have a multi-faker in hand, that's 3 interruptions. If you time them just right, they're gonna pass turn to you, and then you just gain more advantage because the Protocol keeps being live. You already used the strike, and then you're gonna have a Silk, and then you're gonna link climb into a Hextia. Yeah. It's super, super good. Then 2 Dogmatica Punishment. I feel like this card is just too good not to use. It's a double pop. I mean, yeah, you're locked out of the extra deck, but I mean, who cares? You combine it with Extravagance, you're probably not going into it anyway. I just feel like the double interruption of it, this one card is just too good if you send the ints off of it. I mean, it's about too good not to use. A couple of one-ofs. We have the 1 Manifestation, Call of the Haunted, it's pretty good, and then the 1 Imperial Order. Imperial Order with the Secret Village kind of seems a little much. You could cut this card's just so good. I mean, if you don't see the Secret Village, you can have the Imperial Order. You know the Grim Magi deck I played, they got rid of my Spellcaster, so I just chained Imperial Order after the summon resolved. Manifestation super good. The fact that you can bounce it back with Silk and still get your summon off of it's pretty dumb. It's super good.
Nice.
On to the extra deck. The extra deck is pretty standard. 3 Hextia, since you're playing Extravagance, you need to play 3 of them. Super important to have. This card's so good. I mean, it gets you an add, spell and trap negate. You can use it with Protocol, then get an add of a multi-faker, and then use multi-faker effect again. It's super good. And since we're playing Extra, we play the 3 Link Karibo. Super important. If you need a link off a Meloseek to search off the multi-faker, go into Link Karibo, gives you battle protection. Very standard. And then I play 2 Anima. Anima's super good to take something else, and another if they make you go second, you normal summon Meloseek, you can get the add off of Meloseek that can bait something out of a negate. Then you can use the Anima effect to take something. Super good. If I had a 3rd Anima, I'd play it, but I'm playing the 1 Almirage instead. I mean, might as well. I figured why not? Because it sucks when you Extravagance twice and you don't have something to link off into. So I wanted to have 6 of them.
And its effect is decent.
Yeah, its effect is not bad. A couple of 1 of blinks. We got the 1 Boral Sword, the 1 Nightmare Phoenix, the 1 Nightmare Unicorn. I kind of just needed extra deck space. I'm not playing Waking the Dragon in the sideboard, so I didn't have the Last Warrior from Another Planet or the Exterio. So I figured I'd just go with the standard package here. I mean, Boral Sword, Phoenix. I mean, we've all played this game. We know what these cards do. And then, of course, since we're playing Extrav and Punishment, you got the 3 Ints. Gotta play them. I mean, a lot of Dogmatica players out there. I mean, send this, get an ad, get a pop. I mean, it's busted. Super good.
Yep.
Now, my side deck is not really based against the meta. I focused it kind of more on my locals. It's definitely, I would say, some jank. I would not necessarily recommend this a whole lot to other Altergeist players. If I was going to a bigger event and I decided to take this as a rogue option, I would definitely fix it up a little bit. Maybe like more droplets, more talents, lightning storm, something like that. So I played the 3 Phantasme. I mean, I was just thinking I need card advantage in this deck. Phantasme will get me some draw power if you go up against Prank Kids, or if you go up against Tri-Brigade. I think they have 1 to 2 usually on board. Unfortunately, I ran into a lot of Gren Maju lately and Despia, and so they didn't really link off a whole lot. So that kind of caught me off guard. But I figured I'd try him out again. 3 Dark Ruler no more. This is pretty tough when you run into like an Ultimateness and they made you go second, or like a Boral Savage Dragon or something like that, and all you have to really rely on is the Milliseek effect. And then the other thing that sucks about that is since your opponent can't take damage with the Milliseek, it kind of combats it a little bit.
Because you have to do damage.
You have to do damage to send, and so like I said, this wasn't really geared appropriately. But I mean, I figured maybe if they had an Appaloosa, I could Dark Ruler it and make it lose its counters, something like that. Like I'd probably replace these with droplets. I think that'd be a better option. But you know, I figured maybe if I could go off somehow with like an Imperm or something like that. But 3 Gravedigger Trap Hole. I mean, I was maining this card for a while. Eldritch hasn't been around too much because Eldritch is one of my harder matchups. And the Gravedigger's so good, it stops the Golden Lord in grave or in hand. I've gamed people before with the Golden Lord effect.
Nice.
So spicy, super good. You play the Drytron guy. I won in time before against a Drytron player because he tried to go off, time was called, and he was going to try to do the Natasha thing. And a Gravedigger Trapped Hole, the first Natasha effect, took 2,000, then he couldn't do Natasha again to gain more.
Nice.
So this card was super good. 3 Ice Dragon's Prison. I'm torn between maining this or not. I decided to go with the standard package instead. Yeah, a Dragoon is pretty tough to get around, and that's why I'm siding these. Gravediggers, like I said, it's kind of more for time or for the Eldritch matchup, and this is for if somebody consistently makes a Dragoon against me to help out it. And then 3 evenly.
Nice.
I find myself going into this card less and less and less. If you look at one of my other deck profiles, I thought about replacing one of these. The card's just so good, but I never see a situation to use it at all. But it is pretty spicy when it's your turn and you go battle phase, you go main phase, battle phase into battle phase. You evenly their field, and then you activate Multi-Faker effect after
Nice.
that.
That's awesome.
That's so good, so good.
That's awesome. Well, that's it for the deck profile. Any shout-outs you got?
No, not really. I already said the one to Gavin, just giving him a little bit of a hard time about that.
Scott says shout out to Jesus.
Remember, Jesus saves because he shops at Walmart.
Number 1 since the beginning. Well, thanks for the deck profile, Kane.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime, guys.
And we'll see you in the next video.